Learning Adobe Illustrator can be hard, it can be frustrating, overwhelming, and if that sounds familiar, in this video, I'm going to show you how to enable an easy mode of sorts that is going to make Illustrator seem far less intimidating, and it's just going to kickstart that creative journey. That sounded a bit shit. It's going to kickstart your journey learning Illustrator. No, that still sounded terrible. Basically, we're just going to make Illustrator a lot easier to use and a lot less intimidating. So first of all, we have the advanced toolbar. Now, if you don't see this, go to the three dots at the bottom. You might have this nice, less intimidating basic toolbar here, but this doesn't have some really useful features. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the advanced toolbar, which is like, blah. There's a lot of tools on there, 70 to 80 or something. And we're going to simplify this by getting rid of the ones we don't need. So what we're going to do this is go back to our three dots, open this panel up, and if we hold down Shift when we do this, we can quite literally drag tools and groups of tools off the toolbar into this empty white space. Essentially, we're going to drag them into oblivion. There we go. Let's get rid of them. That group doesn't seem to want to move. Click and drag. Just make sure you don't click and hold. Slice tool, we're getting rid of you. Don't be difficult now. Off you go. Boom. Hand tool, we do not need you. Be gone. New objects on path tool. You're very nice, but be gone with you. We don't need you. Symbol sprayer tool. All of you, totally useless. Get out of here. That bastard perspective grid tool. Be gone with you. If you do click that, by the way, press escape. It'll get rid of it. Mesh tool. Outdated, pointless, and overly complex. Be gone. Gradient tool, you can stay because you're lush. This one here, free transform and puppet warp tool. Very useful in certain scenarios, but mostly useless. So let's get rid of them. There we go. This is going rather well. Shaper tool, pretty much pointless, but there's a few others in here that are useful, like the pencil tool, the smooth tool. So we'll keep those. Lasso tool, lasso, get rid of that too. Magic wand tool, useless, get rid of that. Most of these ones are useless except the width tool and quite possibly the warp tool, so we'll leave that there. This is going rather well, I think. Right, we've got pen tool up here, which is very useful. And if you find the pen tool hard, the curvature tool, that is like an easier one to use. I've got a video of that on the channel, definitely worth checking out. Okay, so this looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is close this down. Actually, no, I'm not. We're going to get rid of a lot of this fluff at the bottom because we don't need that. So we'll click these icons here. Click this one here. There we go. Let's click off of it. Perspective grid tool has somehow returned. How did that happen? Escape. See, just like that. Okay, so we've probably more than halved the number of tools that are shoved in our face from the beginning. So now this is going to look a lot less intimidating. However, now we come on to the menu bars at the top. So we have a lot of stuff going on here, but most of this is irrelevant. So in the file menu, we've got new. Yep, that's good for making new documents, opening documents, closing documents, saving documents. We can ignore all of this. Place is good for adding images and other documents like a PSD into Illustrator. So that is useful. Export, great for exporting graphics for the web or for digital use. Document setup, that is good. Color mode, very important. And print, if you've got a printer connected. So that is pretty much the file menu in a nutshell. Now let's go over to edit. Okay, cut, very useful. Copy, paste, paste in front, fantastic. All of these ones, ignore them. Ignore. Edit colors. This top one here, recolor artwork, can be very useful. Everything else, just ignore it. All of this, ignore. Assign profile and color settings. Now to explain this one really quickly, all you need to do is just click on this, go to the presets at the top. Now, obviously, I'm not in North America. I don't know why it's changed back to that. I'm in Europe, or am I? Are we part of Europe anymore? No, I'm in the UK. Well, there isn't a UK preset, so we're going to go with Europe. So let's click on that. There we go. Click OK. Now, if you do pick the wrong one here, your colors might look a little bit different and things might print differently to how they appear on screen. So just make sure you pick the right one. And that's pretty much it for that step. Okay, object menu. This is useful. I would take time to learn most of the things in this menu. Type, again, this is going to be quite useful. However, font, recent font, size, all this crap, we don't need any of that because we can access that from the property inspector. Glyphs, yeah, that can be useful. Changed case, that is very useful. However, we can also do that from the property inspector anyway. So many of these options are here in this menu, but we will do them from the property inspector so we can ignore them here. Create outlines will convert text into a series of shapes. Bullets and numbering, again, that is in the panel on the right-hand side. And insert special characters. So if you need like a symbol or a trademark, copyright, blah, 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 that is there as well. Oh, also fill with placeholder text. If you create a text box and you want to fill it with some dummy copy, that is very useful. But apart from that, you can ignore everything else. Select. Select all, very useful. Deselect, very useful. Everything else, pretty much ignore that for now. Like the features are useful, but you just don't need to know them right at the very beginning. Right, effect. This is where you can change the DPI of the document. So you might have chose 72, 300. Irrelevant most of the time because this is vector software. So we've got infinite DPI. However, when it comes to exporting, can be relevant. Right, 3D materials, useful if you want to do 3D. Irrelevant, irrelevant. Distort and transform, this is very useful, especially this one here, transform. This is unbelievably useful. This is probably the most useful effect in this list, in my humble opinion. Let's go path. Yep, offset path, very useful. The rest, ignore it. Pathfinder, nope. Rasterize, that's in the object menu already. Stylize, great for shadows, glows, but they can look a bit rubbish, so use with caution. SVG filters, nope. Warp, big long list here. What you have to do is just click one of them and it loads up the same window and you've got all the different warps here. So you can warp text, graphics, all that kind of stuff. So you just click on one and then drag the sliders around. But that is pretty much the warp option. Photoshop effects, I wouldn't bother with these. They're raster based anyway, so the quality is going to be affected by things like resolution, and they're basically just pretty useless. You get better results using these features in Photoshop. So for me personally, I never touch them. Okay, up to the view menu. Don't worry, we're getting there. Outline, very useful. This will create a styleless wireframe of your design, which can be very useful, especially when troubleshooting. Zoom out and zoom in, as you can imagine, very useful. Fit the artboard in the window, again, very useful. Smart guides, you must turn these on if you want things to snap together. Just cannot recommend that one enough. Perspective grid, no, be gone. Rulers, yep, useful if you want to measure things. Guides, yep, very useful. And here you can choose what you're snapping to. So if you're doing icons, you might want to snap to the pixel so you get that pixel perfect precision. Snap to point is what I use most of the time, and that will just snap shapes and anchor points together. That's pretty much it for that. Window. We've got appearance panel, gradient panel, and if I go down here, the swatches panel. Now I've got all three of these docked over here. The reason I have these docked in addition to the properties panel is because it just makes it easier sometimes to access things like swatches, gradients, or appearance effects, rather than having to fumble around inside the properties panel, which can get a little bit multi-layered sometimes, if you know what I mean. Whereas having these panels directly here just makes my life considerably easier. And because that properties panel is contextual, whatever I select, so if I go and grab, I don't know, let's go and make a lovely circle. There we go. You can see with this circle selected, I get relevant properties anyway. So in the past where you had like 17 different panels in Illustrator open at once and it just looked horrific to look at, now it's a lot cleaner, which makes it a lot easier to use and quite frankly, easier on the eyes. Now, two other useful panels, well, that's one, two other useful panels are the Pathfinder panel and the Align panel. But if we select multiple objects, because like I say, this is a contextual panel, these options here appear on the right. So we've got the Align options and we've got the Pathfinder options. So we can turn this into, well, what is this? Oh, I'm not entirely sure what that is. A peanut. We'll go with that. I've made a peanut. Well done, Dan. Okay, so we've simplified that horrifically overwhelming toolbar on the left. We've gone through the menus at the top and the panels on the right. Now we're going to look at a few keyboard shortcuts. So if I go and create a shape again, we'll go and create a lovely square by clicking and dragging, holding Shift. Very nice. So we've got the main move tool here. This is V on the keyboard. We can move shapes around. We've also got A, which is the direct selection tool. And if we deselect everything, we can use this to grab individual anchor points and then move these around. Basically, all of these shapes you create. Basically, all of these shapes you create in Illustrator are all made up of individual anchor points. We can click inside on the corner widgets and we can round off individual corners. I don't know what that is, so we're just going to ignore that and move on. Now I've made a fantastic shape here, I think. If I select it with that main selection tool, remember that's V on the keyboard, I can press S for the scale tool, and I can hold Shift and scale this up and down. I can press R for the rotate tool, and I can hold Shift to snap to 45-degree increments. And both of these tools are over here in the toolbar, respectively. So basically, if I deselect this with A for the direct selection tool, we've got V for the move tool, we've got S for the scale tool, and then R for the rotate tool. And honestly, I can't recommend those keyboard shortcuts enough. They'll have you whizzing around Illustrator like a cheeky badger in no time. So if you enjoyed that video and you'd like to learn a bit more about Illustrator, I've got another video on screen somewhere. That wasn't a dance, by the way. That was me trying to highlight the video. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Probably on my face. So yeah, there's another video on my face, or where my face used to be. Give that a click. I'll see you in a sec.